Okay, so here is something really interesting that happened today that I'm super, super excited. I got inspired to try to do a game with him that I had not done with him yet. He's never even seen the barrels before, so this is an example of just how cool he is. He's just like, "Ooh, cool, barrels." Um, what I do is I flip the barrels up on their flat side. So I don't put them on that rounded side. So one side's rounded, and that's not the side that usually has kind of like the lid clamp on it. And then you have the flat side, that's the side that usually has the lid clamp on it. So that's what I'm describing there. If you put it with the rounded side down, then you become like a weeble wobble, and you do fall down. So hopefully this is a good view of this. Um, I'm going to have to introduce him to a couple different elements. So he knows the over. That's pretty much the only element he knows about this exercise. He doesn't know about squeezing between two barrels. So when you first started out, you put the barrels kind of a good distance apart in case the squeeze is concerning. And I'm going to ask him to back between the two barrels just to give him the experience of backing between the two barrels. And making sure that he understands that that's what's being asked of him, guiding him by his tail. So I'm steering him by his tail, telling his tail which way to nose in there, if you will. Once he understands how to back between the barrels, then I have to explain to him about backing from me being behind him, because ultimately I'm going to be standing on top of those barrels, and he's going to be doing a circle around me, like a lunging circle. And then I'm going to stop him, and I'm going to ask him to turn, point his tail under the like between the barrels under me, and then he's going to back between the barrels under me. So I have to be able to explain that to him and communicate that to him from a distance. So he now needs to learn how to back up from me more behind him. So I'm going to explain, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and show him backing through there a few more times maybe. I'm going to be able to see. Sorry. I lost all my audio, so I'm just trying to catch up by narrating. Okay, so now I'm going to show him from further behind him what I want him to do. So this is also going to help him from when I'm riding him, learning the backup cue from the saddle position. Okay, I'm going to give him a little bit tighter of a squeeze, because eventually I need them close enough that I can put one foot on each. So he has to figure out how to squeeze between those. So I'm going to go ahead and show him again to back up between those, feel them, bump into them, whatever. Navigate from the bump. I want him to be able to bump into one and then realize, oh no, I'm too close to that one. I better change my position a little bit. So here I'm just giving him a break, letting him kind of digest what I've done. I'm going to go ahead and step on one barrel and see if I can't communicate to him from there. I don't think I make him go in a circle. And I'm just going to ask him to over as if I'm on the mounting block. He understands that. But I'm going to over guide his face away. So I'm going to try to get his face to turn more towards the camera, I guess, than where he would normally have his face pointed. And that'll help him understand how much of his tail needs to move. And then once his tail is positioned properly, I'm going to go ahead and start my backup cue, which is about 2 seconds now. I should start to ask him to back up. And then I'm going to do that as there's that first bump. He bumped into the barrel and was able to navigate himself more clear of the barrel. Good. Now, that's that one. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and ask him to go out on the circle without, I think I'm going to get him out and away from there first. And then I'm going to go ahead and get back up there. And I'm going to ask him to do a lunging circle and come in from a lunging circle. The reason I didn't stay up on the barrel and then try to send him out this time was because I needed him to understand that all that coming over is still something that means something to you in another concept, like when I'm on the mounting block. So now I'm probably going to tell him to go out on that circle. I'm going to ask him to do it this way one more time. Sorry, I'm watching it with you. Okay. So I'm not going to tell him to go out on the circle yet. I'm just going to have him do it this way one more time. Again, I have to get his nose away. There. Now, I paused for a second because he got a little offended by how much I had to communicate to his nose. So I had to pause there and say, you're right, you're right. Again, tell your nose to go away, your tail. Now, I got to be real careful and wait. Say, it's okay, you're okay, I want you to back. So he's a little bit confused because of how I've had to over-direct his nose. Good. Now I'm going to, once I get that back up step, so I'm going to just ask for over. He needs to over. Move your nose away, over, yep, yep. So I'm like narrating it as if I'm actually watching it again in person. So I'm trying to tell his nose to go away and his tail to come over. Because he's having such a hard time, there's going to be a lot more pauses. The more pauses you take when they struggle, the better you kind of communicate, you're right. So this pause is just to say, you're right, you're on the right page. Now I'm going to gently ask for a backup, and I'm probably only going to look for one backup step, which is that front foot, and then I'm going to pause again. You're right, you're on the backup page. Once I believe he's truly on the backup page, then I can ask much more insistently there, and now I should be able to just ask for the backup. Like now that he's navigated himself between there, I should be able to just say, okay, now keep backing up. There you go. Keep backing up. You're right. You're right. Yep. There you go. Yep. You're right. You're right. Good. And that's kind of how I would narrate to him as well. Like, you're right. You're right. Good. 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 Like I say good and yes a lot for my horses so that they know for sure. And I needed him to back clear out of there because once I'm standing on those barrels, if he were to stop with his head just still between the barrels, that would mean he'd stop with his head under me still. And then I run the risk of him flipping his head up, knocking me over, panicking, having a complete meltdown. We don't want any of that. So I'm telling him how great he is. And then I'm going to say, how about you try going out on the circle from here? Good job. Right? I'm going to have him go all the way around. I want him to kind of get a little cadence to his step. Like here, he's like, now. And I was like, no, keep going, keep going. Nope, 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 nope. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Now you have to be real careful not to make him wrong for that effort. So now in a second, he should get kind of a cadence to his step. 1, 2, there we go. A little confidence movement. Now I'm going to say, hey, I need you to stop right there. Good. I need you to bring your tail over. Wait, get your head the other way. Head, head, head. Good. Tail. Yep, yep, yep. Good. And back. Back. Okay. So now I was like, wow, he did that so well. Like that was like he's been doing it, and I need him to understand he needs to keep going all the way through those barrels. He can't stop with his head between the barrels. I'm so impressed with him that I can't believe that he did it that well. Having never done this before, never seen this before, I can't believe he did it that well. I'm like, I wonder. And that's why I moved the barrels closer. It's going to make it a tighter squeeze for him, but it's also going to make it close enough for me to actually straddle both barrels. Once I can straddle both barrels, I'm going to give this a try. And I don't know if I've ever, certainly not in this kind of time frame, I might have done a barrel game to its completion in one session. I don't think that's something I haven't managed to do, but I've never done it this quickly. Ritz, I think, took 13 minutes. I don't know how long this piece of the video is, but Ritz took 13 minutes to learn how to do it at Liberty. So he had to do it online first. But he also knew all this other stuff. He knew how to circle from me above. He knew how to back up. He knew how to do all that thing from all the different angles. So Dewey's learning every element of this right now. And I kept mentioning, like, did I mention he's only 18 months old? So now I'm telling him, hey, there you go. Now, go ahead, get a little cadence to your step. Good, there's a little confidence there in the way he's walking. He's like, okay, okay. Yep, I don't know if I send him completely around again because he was confused. No, I do ask him. I say, okay, come on, you can try. Good. Now, he's 18 months old, mind you, so he's never seen me in a saddle position. He's never seen me in a above him, straddling him position. This is a huge risk I'm taking, that he's never seen this before, right? But I'm like, come on, we can do this. Now watch, this is so awesome. He's so cool. He's such a good little horse. So now I have to be real careful, because if I cause him to panic with me standing on each barrel and he rams one or the other, I'm on my butt. So this is a more like, you can do this, kind of patient and, you know, I just love that he's such a good little boy. Watch him. I'm telling him, yep, you're right, you're right. Now remember, me being about to be like sitting on him without actually putting weight on him is the first time he's ever going to experience that. I'm just offering him as much encouragement as I possibly can. And then I'm going to say, okay, you got this. You got this. Back. That pause was to say, yep, that backup step was the right thought. And then watch, he'll get to where he's like, oh yeah, I know that. Ready? This is just to encourage him, like, it's okay. Me back here is nothing to be concerned about. It's going to be fine. Good job. And then I tell him, all right, let's try this. This is probably not the narration you actually want for this video, but I'm just so proud of this little horse. He's such a cool little horse. So smart. And this is important. Like, don't get impatient, right? Like right now, you would probably like think I should be like, come on, do it, right? But no, I'm like giving him these pauses. I'm being a cheerleader for him. I'm letting him know that, yes, you are right. These are good decisions here. And yes, you are going to go under me. What a good guy. I'm going to help him, navigate his head. Oh, I'm like in my glory. I'm like, woohoo! What an awesome little horse. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how awesome he is. Such a good boy.